Welcome back. Joining us now is Africa 54's Haiti Adams Fitzpatrick, standing in for Lena Madu. What do you have for us today, Haiti?
Well, Vincent, the United Nations General Assembly has pledged to fight antimicrobial resistance. Health researchers hope this historic agreement reached in New York this week will slow down the spread of superbugs. Now, antimicrobial resistance occurs when antibiotics and other drugs used to fight infections lose their effectiveness. Resistance happens when microorganisms such as bacteria and viruses change when they're exposed to antibiotics and antivirals. These medicines then become ineffective and the infections stay in the body, increasing the risk of spreading to others. The UN declaration requires countries to come up with a 2-year plan to protect the potency of antibiotics. Countries need to come up with ways to monitor the use of antibiotics in medicine and agriculture, start curbing that use, and begin developing new antibiotics that work. The World Health Organization, the World Bank, and other UN agencies are set now to develop a plan of action and report back to the General Assembly in 2018. Well, a new study suggests a possible link between Alzheimer's disease and toxic particles found in air pollution. Researchers found the particles in samples of brain tissue, and it's opened up a new discussion about environmental risk factors for Alzheimer's. VOA's Lenore Madu has more.
Tiny magnetic particles from air pollution have for the first time been found lodged in human brains. Researchers use microscopic and spectroscopic analysis to find deadly magnetite particles, distinct looking from those that form naturally in the brain. They say the discovery suggests a possible causal link between dirty air and Alzheimer's disease.
Seeing these particles with their very distinctive morphologies and size distributions tells you that they haven't been dissolved. You know, they look like they looked when they were in the atmosphere, and as well as being in the atmosphere, we see them in the brain. So you know, that's the novelty. Because magnetite is such a dangerous mineral for the brain, looking for and identifying magnetite in the human brain, that's why it's significant.
Magnetite is a magnetic toxic mineral long associated with neurodegenerative diseases. Tiny particles can enter the brain directly through the nose. Researchers analyzed samples of 37 individual brains from people living in air pollution hotspots, including Mexico City and Manchester. Although they do not claim a definite link between the particles and Alzheimer's, the team thinks future research on the possibility is essential.
If pollution-derived magnetite particles are a substantial causal link involved in neurodegenerative disease, that drives A, the individual level of trying to reduce their own exposure, but B, policymakers to try to do something to reduce the health burden. Alzheimer's disease may be a modern epidemic of our own making.
The World Health Organization estimates that about 47.5 million people globally suffer from forms of dementia, and Alzheimer's is by far the most common. WHO says every year, more than 3 million people worldwide die prematurely due to ambient air pollution. Lenore Madu, VOA News.
And that is our health report for today.